By the way, your video's not
Yeah,
on.
I know. I'm about to turn it on. All right, hello everyone. Sorry for the technical issues. Um, well, hello and
Hello, hello.
welcome to the show. This is our um, we've been kind of growing this and adjusting as we are kind of finding our feet for what is it that we want to do with our podcast. And to that end, we decided that we were going to do kind of a season and have a number of episodes focus on a theme. And so we're kind of excited about this. It's something new. So please bear with us as we do continue to figure out how to do this production and get this information out there. But this first season is about the road to your first 100K. And so trading, a lot of people come and join or start trading just going, hey, I'm going to trade and make money. But there's a lot more to trading than just making one or two trades or making a trade and all that. You kind of really want to treat it like a business. Like you can't just say, hey, well, I mean, some people maybe can, but my personal opinion on this is that you kind of have to approach it just like any other business you would. Like you're going to investing some capital, and
Yep.
and you want it you want to get you some returns, right? So David, you want to add anything?
No, that's right. I mean, I think a lot of people, when you first start to trade and you look at it, it's hard to get away from the old perspective of, hey, I have an account, whether it's you're looking at an IRA, you're looking at 401k, or you're looking at just like a fun account you've been trading at a brokerage. Um, this is a business, and we have to create the infrastructure that any business should have, right? If you
Yeah.
don't have that setup, if you don't have those systems, those rules, the way you run your business in place, the best practices for your business, you're not going to be successful. Whether I was running my own businesses or doing consulting for Fortune 100 companies, uh, always systems, processes, right? That's a part of it. It's just best practices you need to understand to run your business successfully.
Yeah. So we're gonna get into that in a little bit. Why don't we just do a quick uh, go over the agenda? Actually, you know what? I'm so sorry. The whole snafu at the start kind of had me
Through you.
threw me off. So let's do the intro. We got to take care of a little bit of the legal stuff. So I'm gonna run that real quick, guys, and then we'll
Reconvene.
reconnect.
Welcome to Stock and Options Trading Unlocked.
If you want to learn how to make 6 or 7 figures a year trading 2 hours a day, this is the show for you.
We're here to talk about everything trading, weekly news, tips, and special guests to get you motivated and profitable.
Don't forget, everything you hear is opinion only and not to be considered financial advice.
Here are your hosts, Athul Patel and David Picard.
So, okay, welcome back, everyone. Sorry about that, but we just want to make sure that you guys know what we're about, and the disclaimers that everything that we're doing is education and opinion only. We're not financial advisors, so what we're talking about may or may not be suitable for you. So let's talk about the agenda. So what we're going to do is we're going to stick with the format that we've been doing. We want to talk about what's been going on in the market, right? Total, market madness. Let's talk about some $1,000 bets. What can you make trading, right? Like some of you might be new to it and may not realize that, there's some of the kind of crazy returns that are possible. We don't have a guest this week.
Ridiculous returns are possible.
It is. We don't have a guest this week, and So we'll be skipping that. And then tip of the week is actually more of the topic of the week now. And that's going to be our road to your first 100K. So with that said, let's head over and let's first do.
Up next, Market Madness.
All right. Crazy week. Crazy week.
Unbelievable.
I want to make sure I'm looking at the YouTube channel so that if anybody's commenting, I want to be able to respond. Say hello. I'm only showing one. They might be all on a different stream. So if anybody's on
Hey,
the
Phil.
previous show. All right.
Phil.
So hey, Phil.
Please.
So with the market. Okay, so
What amazing range. God, I love it.
The
Traders market right
crazy range. And I don't know how many people thought we were about to rally last week when we had the pop. And where I was kind of like, hey guys, I'm going short here into this push, right? We had been planning for it. We've been wanting, and like we got so many false starts. Like, come on, go, pop. And meanwhile, we're all there, like we want to go short. But and Kramer's like, this is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life.
Which means, you know what? He's freaking out if he's actually saying that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if he's doing it because he's freaking out or if it's just because he had, pledged that the bear market is over and now he's covering a little bit of his ass and now wanting to sympathize with all the people who might be, getting wrecked. I don't know, because to me, this drop should not come to any surprise. Right? The whole run up for the last 2 years was pure money printing and BS in my opinion, right? You can't.
Gotta end at some point.
Complete disconnect. And now we're paying for it, right? And now that it's on the other side of a thing. So if you follow, I think I posted it on my Twitter at Spectre_trades, a infographic on momentum life cycles. So we'll probably talk about that on one of these episodes, but definitely go check that chart out. It's not on the website right now, but after the show, I will add some links to the episode page, and so you guys can check that out. So David, what do you think about this the market and what's going on and like the drops in all the various stocks?
Honestly, I don't think it's a surprise. We knew it was coming. The CEOs gave the green light it was coming. If you didn't see that dumpage that they were doing of their shares, I mean.
That's right.
It's just
last year.
The writing's on the wall. They know what's going down before it's going down. I mean, they see the numbers. They see what's happening with the supply chains. And if they're actually, these guys they're moving major money. So their suppliers let them know, which means they're getting that insight. Also, all this stuff with Tesla and Musk always blows my mind, how he somehow manages to time his sales just perfectly. It's like unbelievable. I don't know.
They started selling last year. And it's like, why are these CEOs like it was amazing. The sheer number I've never seen in my life, the number of CEOs selling their positions and exiting their positions. And I mean, like, hey, I've been CEO for the last 10 years. I think it's a good time to retire. They were like cashing out big time. And so with this whole drop, I mean, I'm honestly like, I was shocked to see how much Walmart dropped and how quickly, and Target.
You
Um,
nailed those. I honestly missed them. I was so focused on the Spy and Amazon, and you nailed those. I mean, it
yeah,
was
I
just
mean, it's
gorgeous.
momentum. Like I mean, I don't just give me some volume and a thesis, and I can
And a
figure out
level.
where, and I can figure out where I can figure out exactly where it's gonna go. But I was still, that doesn't mean like I can't be shocked. I was just like, well, I wasn't expecting that, but okay, well, let's take advantage of it, right? Like I don't have to completely understand it. I just have to be able to take advantage of what's the movement is.
And talk about Apple. What a shit show. That's been leading it the past couple of days. I mean, look, what were
Yeah,
we on the market today? The market as a whole. Let's say the asset like Spy, right?
yeah,
Spy was down. What we? Just let me pull it up. Down 2.4. Apple was down, or excuse me, Spy was down 0.6%. Apple was down 2.5%, and the Qs were down 0.5%. Just really just hammering the market. That's
yeah.
brutal because that thing can normally withstand heat. So
Yeah, so
yeah.
we'll have to see where things go from here. The But yeah, so let's see. Yeah, it's been kind of crazy. Where do you think things are going to go from here, David?
Well, let's see. I mean,
And
I think if we don't come in tomorrow and save this market, Monday could get ugly. Um, I would say if we go and break below like 385, 380 tomorrow, we could have margins Monday coming in.
yeah,
So,
if we break 385, I'm looking at 372 to 375 on SPY tomorrow.
and that's what I mean. I think that's going to produce a margin call Monday, which
But
would mean
I could
major.
also see that a lot of people loaded up short today
Yeah.
and it didn't break down.
Hmm.
And if it doesn't tomorrow, we can get a bit of a short squeeze into the close tomorrow, and then maybe another gap down dump craziness on Monday. So I don't know how they're going
Interesting.
to play it out because yeah, it's the mechanics. We know the direction. It's just the mechanics of timing. Um, Things were heavy. I mean, like each of the pops were kind of like forced. They felt forced. They were short squeezes. They weren't. They weren't. There wasn't real buying, in my opinion, in that price action I've seen today. Um, so yeah. So we're gonna see. It's gonna be some fun stuff. Uh,
Oh,
let's let's go ahead and talk about. So when you have all this wildness that's going on in the market, you can take some amazing trades. And with that,
Up next, $1,000 bets.
let's get into our thousand what do you call it?
$1,000 bet.
$1,000 bets. Yeah, sorry, I had a delay on my other screen, so I wasn't sure. But so yeah,
All right.
so Walmart. Okay, this was one that I saw. Now the crazy thing on Walmart was okay, so we had the news, it dropped, they guided it down, and I believe 134 or 132 was major support on the daily. And once I saw that 132 break, I had sent this tweet out in our THT and our Edimomo Gold Room. I kind of laid out a plan saying, hey, I think I like the 130 puts between $1 and $1.50, and I think they're gonna hit $6 to $10 by the end of the week. Right, my target is 120 on Walmart, and sure enough, we got the big dump overnight. Well, it started off with a decent dump, and then it followed through into today, and we got our it got to $11 from $1.50. I mean, a dollar actually, right? $1.25. So let's talk about that $1,000 bet, right? So if you wanted to make $1,000 bet on this idea, you kind of just do the little bit of math. Hey, the price of these contracts, I can get it in at $1.25, let's just say. So how many contracts can I get? I'm going to take 8, right? Because I'm making $1,000 bet. And And then if you liked the idea and you held it through, you could have sold at $11, right? Or even $10, right? Let's just say $10. You put the order in at $10. Okay. From $1,000 went to $8,800. Okay.
Amazing.
I mean, that's crazy.
Crazy return.
I'm sorry, and and if you sold at 10, $8,000. And what do you need to make this happen?
Well, so a little bit of knowledge, a little bit of systems, a little bit of planning, patience, right? Because one of the things you did there that's really hard for a lot of people to do is to set that plan, be able to stick to it, right? Have the patience to let it come to fruition, right?
Yeah.
Not jump out, not be watching every candle.
You put the stop, I like bracket orders for this stuff. Now,
Walk
check
away.
this out. How was I able to come up with this plan? Okay, so now if you're one of our subs, you'll have access to my levels. And so I had planned out and made these levels for Walmart.
Yep.
And so came through, analyzed the levels, and then once I had those levels figured out, I'm able to go back and now reverse engineer it, right? If I'm thinking, hey, look, if I'm taking the 130 puts and I think it's going to go to 120, those contracts are going to go to $10. They don't have a choice.
Easy math
It's
in
just
your
math.
head, right? Yeah.
And then I'm like,
You
well,
can avoid thinking about anything that's complex. That's it.
Simple,
It goes to 120.
It goes
There
to,
you go.
Yeah. Don't have to worry about theta, vega, your mama, anything. Like, it's literally just you just you just do the math, right? And you're like, hey, is it worth it? If I have the potential to make 10x
Yeah.
or so, or 8x, am I going to take that bet? Yeah. Am I going to put my entire account on it? No.
Is this something you were looking at all or nothing when you say that too?
You can. Yeah, you have to make a plan. You have to make a decision on how you want to execute the trade.
Did you have a stop in on this trade when I'm asking all or nothing? Or were you risking
yeah. So when I
1,000?
laid the plan out, I said, hey, I'm going to risk half.
Half. So 50% you were thinking.
Yeah, so
Okay.
$1,000,
So you're
and
risking
if I'm wrong, I'm going to lose
$500
$500.
So you had only 1,000 in you had 1,000 total in capital actually in the trade, but you were actually going, hey, my risk is $500. I'm done after that.
Yeah.
I don't want it anymore.
Yep.
Beautiful. So really, you risked $500 to make
Yeah.
Oh,
$7.
right $7,000.
Yeah. Something
Six
like that.
grand, $6-7,000, and depending on if you scaled, you might have took some at 7, right? Depending on
Yeah, and
how
then
you felt, how you want to hold.
maybe you didn't want to take the risk, right? So when it got to double or triple the next day, I think very quickly in the first 15 minutes it hit $3 or $4. Maybe you took half off. Okay, depending on your
Nothing wrong.
style. That's fine. You took half off, you protected your capital. There's no way you can lose now. And the other half still got you another $4,000.
And that should all be planned, right?
So you should know before the price hits, you should already know what you're going to do. Don't be like,
And have your order in.
Yeah, just have the order in. Go, hey, if it does this, this is how much I want to sell. Put your orders in advance. Don't
There's
be guessing.
nothing worse, absolutely nothing worse than having a target in mind. I think it's going to hit that 120 level, right? You watch it go there, and then you're scrambling to get your order in and your limit in, and then you watch it bounce, and you're like, oh my god, I missed it, and then you're chasing your tail out.
$10 to $9, or like in
Worst.
like there. Look at that. It went from 11 in that spike. You're looking at the chart. Went to 11 to 9, right, in like a couple minutes, and then you're,
Just
maybe half an hour.
Take order, be happy.
But what you do is you just put the orders in advance. Like, work your plan, okay? Don't let the market work you. Right? So
Don't let it bully you.
don't
That's right.
let the candles, whatever. You've made a plan. But when you're a trader, your job is to plan your trades out. Enter when you're supposed to, and then let it work. Either stop you out because it's not working or something's changed, or let it get to where you planned your trade, right? Doing that is going to make you so much more grow. You're going to grow so much more than if you try to over manage the trades, try to do every little bit. Wait for the right entries, take your exits as you plan.
And one thing I want to say, and this has nothing to do with this trade, but it came out of a coaching conversation the other day. Make sure your thesis and your trade plan line up. Because just because you like the trade, you think it's there, if your actual thesis, like where you think it's valid or invalid, don't line up with the way you planned in your stops, it's not a good trade plan then. You haven't set it up properly. So make sure everything lines up and it feels good with what you really think is going to happen and come to fruition.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's do the next one.
What do we got?
And let's see the next slide. All right, SPY. Oh, yeah. I was so annoyed at this one because I wanted it.
So annoyed.
Well, we had the plan for the short. Started those crazy June. So at 4:08 into the close, this is where I kind of said to everybody, hey, look, guys, I like the 380 June puts. And I think they were like $2.50 or $3 at the time, something like that. And, gave us plenty of time for this to play out because I wasn't sure if it was going to happen the next day. I didn't know for sure. I had an inkling. But what I was really wanting the next morning, I didn't want the gap down, or I wanted some gap down to show a little weakness, but I wanted to pop. I wanted to pop so I can load up. But you have to learn price action, right? Yep. And so after looking at the price action and my target on that day was 395 to 398, or at least my target was 395 to 398 by Friday. And then if 395 broke, then by Friday my target is 385 to 388. It's kind of played out. Now, absolutely. If you took hey, let's take a look at this plan for this trade. Now, if you look on the right, we have if the target is 395 to 398, right? So that means that if I take the 400 puts, those are going to go anywhere between $2 and $5, right?
You said you're expecting it to go to 395 to 398,
right?
So absolutely.
So if I take the 400 puts, at worst, at end of day, $2, but you can assume that there's going to be some juice in it, right?
That's right.
So likely you're going to get at least 3 to 5. Okay.
Agreed.
And so, especially if it starts like going fast. So then if you see the price action, the way it was setting up and going, and it looked like it was about to break that 400, you could have entered in the first couple of hours, not even right away. You didn't have to enter right at the open. You could let the market develop a little bit, give you a feel for, hey, are they selling? Are they buying? What's going to happen? Come up with a plan, right? And in this case, this was 400 puts, $1.50. I like to risk half, but you could have actually just risked 50 cents on this, really. And let's just say that you do $1,000 bet again. This time, since it's $1.50, we can only get 6 contracts.
Yeah.
Right. But that's fine. Hey, if we lose, we're going to lose $500, let's just say. And if it works out and it gets to $5, that's going to be 6 times 5. That's going to be worth, spending $1,000. It's going to be worth $3,000. And now maybe what happens if you get the bonus round, right? If you get bonus round and it goes down and breaks that 395, maybe it heads toward that 388, right? Or 390. That's going to mean it can go to $10 plus. Okay. So, on the plan basis, we got from, 3 to 5 targets were met. After watching more of the price action, and if you let it go, it went all the way to 9. It didn't quite get to the $10 target, but anything over 5 to me is bonus because this is same day contract. If you took instead the Friday contracts, then you have more time to let it all play out. But same day, risking 50 cents or 75 cents and then getting a $3 or $4 payout, I mean, that's not bad.
And this is one, like you said, you could have had a couple opportunities to enter, right?
Yeah.
It was saying, hey, this is what I want to do. Now, where's my entry waiting for it? I mean, look at those option contracts. You can just see it's making those higher lows and then it's coming in a touch. If you wanted to really, you could have found a couple great entries with some awesome risk reward, right? You could see even around 1 o'clock, it came down to about 350. You could have risked kind of against that 275, $3 level, right?
Mm-hmm.
And, to the upside.
Yeah, I mean, you could actually got if you were wanted to be a bit. So this is a more of an advanced technique I'll share. That let's just say that you took it and you sold it at say $4, halfway in between,
Okay.
right? So you took your 6 contracts, you held it, it got to $4, you sold. Okay, so from $1,000, you now have you sold it at 4 times 6, so $2,400. You pocketed $1,400. All right. You could then go, hey, you know what? It's coming back down to 350. You could actually roll down. You could go at this point where it was 350 and you're like, hey, I think this is really gonna drop more. And you could have then taken the 395 puts. Right. I don't have a chart for that because I wasn't planning on doing that technique. But what I will do is since I have the option contracts kind of already up here on my thing,
Nice.
I can pull it up real quick. So you were talking 1 o'clock, right? That dip.
Yeah.
Now this is.
Remember, you're on the 18th.
Yep,
the
I have
contract.
it. I'm right on the 18th. You know what I might be able to do is take a screenshot of this on the 18th, and I'll just see if I can
Send it in.
send it in so I can show everybody. Because guys, this is why you roll. Okay, and I'm not talking.
Those are going to give you.
And I'm not talking about that kind of roll.
Sure.
When I'm talking
Those
about
will
rolling
give you a
down,
dirty return. I can guarantee on that.
there is a very dirty return here. Okay.
Yeah, and you hear me talk about this a lot. One of the things I'll do when I'm having a really good day trading my SPX, I actually if I'm taking like a second or third target and I want to find a new entry, I go down to SPY to control my risk. And the reason I do that is because I actually look to potentially swing then if I want and feel a little more comfortable with less capital involved. And that's just my personal adjustment I make.
Okay, sorry guys, I'm trying to find this folder.
I'm filling the time with some aimless banter. Don't worry.
All right, you can do that, and then I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna go and add that slide.
Let's see it.
Add a file.
So, and one of the things that's so beautiful is, man, those levels, using them as strike prices. I love it because it really just gives you juice on the risk reward, right? Because when it comes in and it hits that target, those things have a lot of premium in it.
Okay, so let's see if this worked.
Got Walmart up right now. I'm seeing.
Boom. Okay, yeah, no thing. So now, here's the wild thing. Let's say that you have your $1,400 of profit.
Okay.
And this time you're kind of going, hey, you know what? I really think this is going to flush out. And you go, I'm going to make another $1,000 bet. Right? And I'm going to pocket my $1,400. I'm going to pocket $400. So no matter what, I'm walking away today with $400. But I'm going to do another $1,000 bet. Okay? If you look right around 1 o'clock, those 395 puts were 80 cents.
And they went dirty. I think I actually might have had those.
So you could have got 12 contracts for $1,000. Okay. Is that right? 0.8 times 1.2.
This was the 18. Yep.
0.8 times 1.2 is $960. Yep. You could have taken 12 contracts and held it for the day. right? Because the thesis and structure is, hey, we're in a big sell program, okay? And
I rolled into the May 20th 390s at 12:02.
yeah.
I just
So these were $1. Now 80 cents, I'm sorry, into that spike. Let's actually keep it simpler. Let's not even do the 12. Let's just do 10 contracts at $1. Okay?
Easy.
And you're gonna say, hey, if it goes back to 80 cents, I'm gonna cut it. If I'm wrong, I'm gonna lose $300. Right? 30 cents stop. Still 10 contracts. So really, you're, at worst, you're gonna end the day with $1,100 in your pocket.
Yep.
And now you're letting it play out. Okay. It ended the day, those ended the day at $4. So that's $4,000,
Huge.
right? From your, so you took your original $1,400 profit and you just added another $3,000, right? Now that's not even saying rolling all the profit. That's just saying, hey, I'm going to do the same thing again, but I'm going to do a different strike. Okay. So
Beautiful.
that is the thing. When you can start seeing where trends are going, use the levels to go to target. I was wrong. I thought that we were going to get 388, right? It only got to 391, 392. Okay. Still phenomenal return. You had great, when you see that gap, that much range between the levels, I want to attack those. I want to be a part of those. I don't want to be a part of trades where there's a lot of the levels are close by to each other, and because there's a lot of times you'll just get chopped around that, right? I want to get in at the levels, at the extreme range of the levels. Those give me the best risk reward.
Yeah. Yesterday was one of those potential lights out days.
Yeah. So it was pretty neat. It was pretty cool stuff. So, okay, let's move on. That's $1,000 bets. Let's head on to the what I think a lot of us are excited about to talk about. And
Up next, tip of the week.
Or actually topic of the week now, which is the road to your first 100K. Right. And so we started talking about a little bit about the business of trading. David, you want to add a little more on what you?
Yeah. So, I mean, you want me to start with talking about kind of the business of trading and what that feels like to me?
Absolutely.
So, I mean,
I'm gonna get some water while you're talking.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Please go. So one of the first, guys, when I started taking trading seriously, I mean, I've always owned my own businesses and been a consultant. I've been self-employed my whole life. So one of the things when I started getting into trading and was like, hey, I'm going to do this seriously. And I've been trading since my teens. My grandpa got me into it. Started doing options in my early 20s. And I sat down and I made myself actually a business plan. That's how seriously I took it. I said, hey, here's kind of what I'm looking to trade, right? Here's the different strategies I'm going to do. And they've changed and pivoted so much since then to where I'm trading now and what I'm focusing on. But it still comes down to every year I do a big review and I look at what worked, what didn't work, and how am I going to focus on my business, right? Just like any business, you want to focus on what brings in 80% of the money, and that takes 20% of the time, not the other way around, right? And that's where I love trading 2 hours of the day. I love following the process because it's allowed me so much more patience in my trading, allowing these greater returns that, I've been able to just kind of string together these amazing consecutive days. It's like I had to talk myself today into saying it was still a good day. It's tough. I did 4% of my account today and I was like, all right, I'm done for the day. I shouldn't trade more. It's fine. It's good, don't hurt yourself. So once again, the business, I'm supposed to be done 2 hours. So that was my day. Got to call him.
So 4% today. And I know why it was such a struggle because you had a few pretty impressive days.
I gotta ground myself when that happens.
A bunch of, I think you had 40+% yesterday and a few double digits for the last week. You were just crushing it.
Yeah. And
but that's part of the psychology, right?
yeah, and I
Where
can't get a job. I can't say that's normal and that's my expectation. My business plan says 3 to 5%. So when I get 4%, I have to remind myself, if I do that day in and day out, I know where I'm going to be, right? I know where my account's going to be because there's something called compounding growth, right?
Yep.
And I do pay myself on a monthly basis. I draw my account down because it's just part of my process and my business plan. As I've gone through the years and adjusted it, I actually find I trade much more effectively with a reasonable size account because my risk is in so control. I'm in control of myself. I have no worries. I don't think twice. I just say, hey, this is my plan. What happens, happens. It's good. I don't know if that talking kind of, I think actually the 4% talk leading into that, and that is part of my plan. I always say, I think in THT, we usually target 1 to 3. I've found that I can do 3 to 5 very successfully, if not more, without a problem. Just focusing on my risk reward, my entries. But I think that's actually a great segue to hand it over to you to really talk about the road to 100K and how easy it is to get there. Actually, with you don't need a lot of money to make your first 100K. You don't need 100K to make 100K.
Nope. You did it with 5.
I did it with 5 earlier this year in 2 months.
Yeah. The all right. So let's before we get into that 100K, we have to think about this power of compounding, right? So if you're doing just 1%, and you compound 1% a day growth on average, that will lead to 10x in a year. These are ballpark, 200 trading, there's 240 trading days. Let's just say you take a couple months off in that and 200 trading days, 200 trades, or not trades, 200 trading days, and you average 1%, that's going to get you 10x. Okay? If you do 3%, you're going to 10x within 6 months. It's just math. Okay? And then you're going to have other times where you're going to have these 20, 30, 40% account growth days, right? So one should get there much faster, or can get there much faster when you're planned and you're disciplined. Okay?
Absolutely.
So if you start off thinking about that, hey, okay, I want to get to that 100K. What are the components I need? One, I have to have a path, right? Let's just say we're going to assume we're starting off with 10 grand. Okay. So if I'm starting off with 10 grand, I mean, is it possible to go to 100K? Like, is it possible?
Easy.
Yes, it's doable with the math. Math, we're using math to support us, right? We're using discipline, strategy, and momentum, really, which is kind of like my passion, to plan trades. Now, what we want to do with that is we want to reduce our risk, right? We don't want to be taking a lot of trades because it's kind of like what David had said before. We're going to be talking about more of these concepts about your trade pipeline. It's kind of like a sales pipeline, these trade opportunities, right? Do I want to do a lot of effort trying to scalp a bunch of different a bunch of different trades? But imagine that you're
Margin.
Our business. This is a high risk business. This is absolutely high risk business, right? So imagine that you're kind of like you're I don't know, high risk loans. Say that you're issuing loans to people, right? Do you want to, if you're doing loans to a lot of people and you have a high default rate, how much work is that, right? And it's gonna, it's money you're gonna lose. And then you have to go chase after them, and there's all this
Plus
stuff.
overhead per transaction.
Overhead and just thing. Now, what if instead you could actually go make high quality loans, right? Where you're only doing a handful, and you have a high probability that they're going to pay you back with some great interest, right? So maybe you're looking at being, there's so many different opportunities, but say that you're just a bridge loan guy for people who are doing construction or doing construction loans for stuff. You have a pretty good chance that it's secured. and you got a pretty good chance of getting paid back. You want that, right? And you might, so you might not do a lot of those, but when you do, it's it's going to be much more. It's going to pay you much better, right? So instead of doing $2,500 a week or $1,500 a week payday check, loans. No offense to anybody if that's in that business that's watching this, but I much rather like do, hey, if I can do $100,000 loan and I get make 10 grand in a month off that 100 pound loan, I'm like, hey, that's my, say that's my business model. I'd much rather do that. I might not have the same volume, but I'm not gonna have those headaches. It's probably a bad analogy, but we can, the whole idea though is you want to kind of build your business toward this. So it comes back down to, okay, what does our business need? And so if you're going to be doing this trading business, there's a lot of facets to this, be outside of just that one trade. And one of this is, what does your ideal trades look like? How much should you make for how much are you going to risk, right? And then how often can you find that with a high probability of a win?
Every day. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's there.
There's a lot of opportunities. And do you want to, I guess, should we talk about the what we're going to cover in the future episodes, or do we want to?
We should. And I just want to harp on one thing that you mentioned, and I love it because I'm such a firm believer. It's removing the emotions, doing this like a business, and math. I swear to God, it's
ridiculous.
It's about the math. It's about finding your plan, applying proper math to it. And that's what we go over. We hone those skills. That's what our 2-hour trade group's about, honestly. And it's one of those things, it's just opened my eyes to the process that you brought to me, opened my eyes to these incredible type of returns that, I never before would have been looking to, 2,000% an account in 2 months. That just would seem ridiculous to me until I did.
Yeah. I mean, the 2-hour trader program, I'm not really here to talk too much about that program, but we've done the analysis, we've done the hard work of figuring out so much of the components necessary to build a trading business, and then how to teach it. So that's kind of what we do in the 2-hour trader program, is we help people develop and set up their trading businesses. So with that said, why don't we talk about some of the stuff that we cover? Like, what are the things that we're also going to cover in this episode series?
Yeah, let's go through it. I think some of the next seasons or the next episodes we're going to do in this season, covering the road to the first 100K, is really next talk about process and systems. Something that I love. I'm huge on it. Prior life as a CFO, COO, doing consulting, it just speaks to me. So I can't wait. That's going to be an exciting episode. After that, we're going into the trade pipeline, guys, which is exciting because that's what everyone loves, right? Everyone loves, like, what's that next best trade, right? And what we talk about and learn is, how do we find that opportunity day in and day out for that amazing trade, that amazing risk reward, right? And with a high probability of success on top of it. And it's just day in and day out. Another probably favorite topic I harp on too much is risk management. That would be the next episode. But those are like some of my favorite things also to talk about, and I think have had the largest impact on my trading.
Yep.
If you want to take it from there with some more.
I will. So then we're going to follow that, the risk management episode. The next episode we'll have is about trade management, right? Entering, when do you exit? What is, how do you?
You are the master
and
of this. Calling those exits out before getting the whole group out before it just goes the different opposite. I mean, you're the master of that. It's amazing.
Well, I know momentum, right? But the big part of that is, even if don't do that, I'm even seeing our members do it without me now, and I love it. Like, it's so great to see how the process and the thinking and folks executing per the process is doing that. And then just yeah, I mean, it's great. Like, so the trade management side, there's reasons to get in, there's reasons to get out, there's reasons when you have to adjust and go, hey, you know what, it's the right thing to do, right? And you go ahead and do it. And then there's scaling in and out, right? So there's all kinds of different ways to manage trade that we're going to be able to talk about in that episode. Then there's something that's actually people don't do enough of that I think is incredibly important. And it's also part of why we also have a psychotherapist in our service is that it's personal well-being. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that we can do, but then there's stuff that you have to deal with that may not be obvious. And having someone help you start recognizing the things that are going on inside of you that's affecting how you trade that may not be obvious. But really, we're going to talk about personal well-being and how it's important to be healthy, to be mindful of yourself, what's going on with you. Is it the right time to be taking? Because I've done a trade one day where it was absolutely the worst thing I should be possibly doing. You know, my mind was somewhere else. I lost 5 digits. Huge.
Guys, one thing I want to say: life, trading, everything. It's not about what you know. It's about what you do. If you, like, he's drinking that pop right there, right? It's not about that he knows he should be drinking water and not pop. His body doesn't, it's not going to care that he knows. It's still putting in that high fructose corn syrup, right? So it's still shit, even though he knows better. So same thing with your account, right? You might know what you're supposed to do, but if you're not actually doing it, your account's not going to do anything for you. Yep. Sorry, a little rant on actually implementing what you get educated on, from personal well-being to trading, because it's true, right? We can educate across the board. If we're not clicking for you. So if it's not implemented and taken seriously, right? Just like your health.
Yep. You absolutely need, now I'm feeling completely guilty. I'll be completely honest. Now I'm feeling guilty, but there was, I should
snack after the gym.
So personal well-being, super important. And then, you've gotten really good at this, so I'm going to let you talk about the next episode that's coming.
This is one I love. Incredible entries and powerful patience. Okay. I love sniping entries. I want the absolute stupidest risk reward possible where, I took a contract on SPX with $30 of risk, and, just the reward is insane on this. Like for me, I look for probably a little bit more than most people on my entries. But the reason I do that is because I limit my number of trades, and it makes me focus on the absolute A plus trades. Okay. And I know that, hey, even if I only hit 1 of 3, I'm probably green to flat on the day, which is amazing.
Very green. Yeah. Yep. And so the other nice
patience
thing,
you taught me, by the way. Patience was not me originally. I've gotten so much better about waiting for that payout, because it's something that you said that always resonated with me. It's like, hey, if you're going to take the risk, why aren't you going to get that reward, right? And it's something that I always think, it makes me think about. It's like, I work way too hard for my money, and everyone out there does too. So don't take that risk if the reward's not there. Just don't.
Yep. And if the reward's there, go get it.
That's right.
Right. But that means a lot of times that means doing nothing. Right. And another great part of this, when you have incredible entries, it makes it so much easier to be patient, because it's never going red on you, or it's not going big red on you. and you see the opportunities. So you're just like, okay, cool. But when you're having chase entries or playing in the street, and you're just getting, it's going up and down, and you know, yeah, this is where all my hair went.
Yeah. One of the things that I've found also is one way I know I nailed my entry, and when I go to review it later or the next day, I'm going to be super happy, thrilled with my execution. If I hit my target within like a minute or two, because I had such a good entry that my risk was pretty small, because, I set it up right towards that validation. And also that, I mean, it just boom goes 3x, 5x right away. It's like, it's such a fast move because you caught it, you nailed the entry.
You nailed the entry, and it's just, that I'd say
Now
the
the
thing
whole
that we
market's
really-
running because the sheep are all getting slaughtered.
Yeah, I mean, but the thing is that's what the levels give us, right? The crazy thing about the levels is, and you see on the charts earlier, those dashed blue lines, those levels are just such incredible guides. I think I call it our secret weapon, because it's what lets us get insane risk reward. Our ability to plan using them, it's just,
It's the secret sauce at the end of the day. That's what it comes down
what
to.
we're able to do with them because we have those levels, and then knowing how to execute them, how to read them. It's pretty great stuff. All right, so let's keep going. So we're running almost out of our time. So more episodes. We're going to be talking about tools of the business. We're going to then talk about trade journaling. We're also going to talk about why it's important to have a mentor. And then finally, what does a 2-hour trading lifestyle look like? So that'll be a fun episode. So yes, everyone, please stay with us. Subscribe so you get reminded. Be sure to subscribe on YouTube and also on the Edamama website, so we can send you emails about the So2 show in case there's any changes or things that are happening. And then give me 15-20 minutes, and I'll update the episode page on the website, or come check on it in the morning, and I'll make sure all the links are there for seeing the various things, such as the blog post on the Power of 1%. We also have a webinar on the Power of 1%. Let's see, there's a couple of other things that I planned on sharing that I don't see right now, but let me see if I can find it real quick. There it is. Yeah, so I'll be adding also then, we made a webinar recently that's called How to Make 100,000 a Month. Not even your first 100K, but how do you get to the point like till you can do 100K a month? And then a link to the market momentum life cycle. If you're kind of curious about
And it doesn't take 100K to do it.
No. And guys, it's really that momentum lifestyle cycle. I kind of really encourage everybody to look at that, because it should help guide you. There's some signals in that chart that you can start paying attention to listen to what's happening in the market. That's going to help give you an idea of when things are going to be changing. So be sure to pay attention to that. And then, so then if there's guys, please share, post in YouTube, like, subscribe, comment. If you got questions for us, please post them. I mean, we're here to help you.
Ciao.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We appreciate everyone here, and we'll see you next week. All right. Enjoy your weekend. Stay green tomorrow. Let's do it.
An amazing day. I'm going to go to the outro. And guys, when you get to the outro, you're going to see a scrolling list. Spend a few minutes to go there. That's live from our from our members and their trade results. And you can see what's going on there. And so, if you have a few minutes,
amazing work our members are doing.
Yeah.
So proud of them, honestly.
So we'll see you next time. And thanks for watching.
Thanks, guys. See you next time.